One of the number one reasons why women struggle with dating and relationships today is that they choose men who are not ready for anything real. Ladies, there are lots of great relationship-ready men out here. However, you need to learn how to choose them. I wrote this book to teach you how to do just that. Get your copy of Choose Well, a simple formula to determine the best man for you on Amazon today.
Yeah, because first of all, I'm very picky with my men. So, I mean,
You're picky?
Really,
How?
Yeah, I'm very picky.
How are you picky? Were you picky with your baby daddies?
Yes, I was.
So why is you with them?
Because men show their true colors after so long.
But you met one baby daddy right after you had a baby. So how could you be so picky with him?
I mean, things happen. And with my third baby daddy.
So it's this right here. This is the number one reason why women struggle in relationships with men. And they continue to struggle. They continue to have these problems with men. And it's because of this right here. So, ladies, and I'm sure each and every one of us has said this very phrase at one point in time or another in our lives when we're talking about men. I know I've said it when I was in my early 20s. I've heard my daughter recently say it. I've heard countless number of women say some form of this phrase. Well, he changed, or he switched up, or the mask fell off, or the mask slipped. We've all said something to that effect. And the reason why we immediately reach for that is because it makes us feel better about the fact that we did not properly vet this man. We did not take our time. We did not play the wait and see game. So it's easy for us, it soothes the ego for us to say, he changed. Okay? So he pretended to be one thing, and later on I found out he was something else. But here's the truth that every woman needs to hear, and she needs to apply to the rest of her life. And it is this: you have to take your time. You have to wait out every man that you're dealing with. Because if I'm honest, all of them are capable of this behavior. And the faster you go, right? So a big part of this is you moving fast. You're moving so quickly that you just didn't give it the time it needed for the real him to show up. So it was once believed, I actually believe this has changed recently, but it was once believed that within the first 30, 60, 90 days, so that first 90 days really, imagine meeting a man in the summer, right? So summer is that 3 months, that first 90 days. That is considered the honeymoon period. So the primary hormone that you're experiencing is dopamine, right? You're just so excited. All of your dopamine receptors are lighting up because this person is new, they're different, they're new to you, and in your mind's eye, oh my gosh, they are the most amazing thing ever. Like, that's all you can think in your mind. This person's new and different and amazing, and oh my gosh, I'm the luckiest girl on earth, right? So imagine that season being summer. And we love summer. We love summer, don't we? The sun is shining. The weather is great. It's amazing. It's beach weather. We love summer. So that's like the honeymoon period. We got to wait out that period. We got to get through that period because guess what? Next season that's coming is fall. And fall is when the leaves start to change, the weather starts to get cooler, right? And so fall is kind of that period where, okay, we're going to think about the trees. So we're going to really see the trees for what they are, because the leaves are going to change and then the leaves are going to fall off. So we're going to see the real tree. Like, I'm looking at the trees now, and a lot of them are bare of leaves, or the leaves have changed colors. So now we're getting a chance to really see, that person's leaves falling. And we need to see that before we move any further, before we marry, before we mate, before we move in, before we do anything serious. We need to see those leaves fall. So fall is the next season. That's the next 3 months. That person's leaves start to fall off their tree. We get to see who they really are. Then we're going to move into winter, okay? Now, this is where the rubber meets the road, okay? Can we be for real? Winter is when we going to really know what we're dealing with. So that's 9 months. That's 9 months in. Now we're going into winter. And that's when we're actually going to see that person. We're going to really see what that person's made of. The trees are bare. It's cold outside. And we're going to see what we really got. 9 whole months. Most people can't even make it through fall. But if you make it through fall and you get to winter, okay, let's see what you really made of. And guess what? Y'all are cooking, cleaning, coming over the house, staying for days on end, having sex, right? Getting on your back, getting on your knees, meeting his family, meeting his kids, helping them get jobs, and, or moving them into your house and letting them drive your car. You are literally doing all this in summertime. You're doing all this in the first 3 months of knowing this person. I can't make it up. And y'all know who you are. The first 3 months, you actually believe that the person in front of you is the person in front of you. You don't even think in your mind, this is not who this person really is. I won't know that until winter. When I meet a man, I don't care how fine he is. I don't care how tall he is. I don't care what he got. I immediately, so this is what wise people do. They immediately say, I don't know who this person is. This is not who this person really is. We are still in summertime. Okay? I got to see him in the fall. I got to see him in the winter. And then I'll see him back in the spring. And God help you if you can make it to the spring. Because a lot of these relationships, they don't even make it through the fall. Soon as the leaves start falling, that's when y'all start talking y'all crap. Well, he changed. He pretended to be something he wasn't. No, duh. That's everybody. Everybody's pretending to be something they ain't. But you have to be wise enough to know that. You have to get some wisdom in your head that says, I'm meeting this person and this isn't all that there is to them. There is so much more. This is the first layer of that onion. I'm meeting this person and this is their first layer. I'm going to get to the second layer, then the third layer, then the fourth layer, then the fifth layer. But the lack of wisdom, the lack of insight, and because your little ego can't handle you telling it the truth, I did a horrible job vetting this man. I don't have the wisdom and the foresight to understand that the man I meet in the summer is not the man I'm going to get in the fall or the winter or the spring. That's the man you met in the summer. That's like meeting somebody on vacation and going, oh, he's the one. Come on. When are we going to grow up? When are we going to grow up? And this woman has 3 children by 3 different men. So she done this 3 times. And that's where, I'm sorry, y'all not going to get no sympathy out of me. You ain't going to get no sympathy out of me. The only ladies that get sympathy out of me for the he changed routine is if it happened one time, and that's with or without a baby. If it happened one time, and after that, you were like, okay, I need to listen to Anita's videos every day, all day. I need to put them on repeat. I need to take notes. Like if you got one time, okay, I'm gonna give you that. Because if we being honest, we've all got one time. I've got one time. Okay? But if you got 3 and 4 and 5 times, baby, it's you. It's you. You are the idiot that refuses to wake up, that refuses to grow wise through your turmoil, through the tests and the trials and the tribulations that you're going through. You refuse to grow wise. And I'm sorry, I don't feel any kind of way about you. If you got 3 kids by 3 different men, and I'm talking back to back to back, the kids are born back to back. So you just ran into one dumb situation, into another. No, I don't. I don't. And being honest, this lady right here, yeah, you might not get no husband. Like I'm sorry. It is a percentage of women out here that's not going to get a husband, that's not going to get the man of their dreams because of your choices. The choices that you have made, unfortunately, exclude you from that experience. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm having these conversations so that people can understand there are situations and choices and circumstances that you put yourself in that you can't come back from. You can't come back. And I've had countless people come in, oh, well, what do you think? What do you think? And then I have to give them the bad news. Baby, you can't come back from this. You just can't come back from this. And then they feel a way because, oh, I'm condemning them. Oh, I'm speaking over their, speaking ill over their life. And now I'm a realistic person. I'm a person who sees the facts. I see what I see and I speak on it. And if that hurts you, I wish you would have gotten this hard truth prior to you making all these bad decisions. Because maybe your hurt feelings could have kept you from doing it again and again and again. But it ain't looking good. And look, I'm never going to tell anybody it's impossible. Because only God knows that. Only God knows what is like, yeah, this ain't never going to happen. That's not my place to say. I'm telling you what's improbable. Okay, the probability of that happening is low. Very, very low. Do not. There are certain things in this world as a woman that you cannot do and think you're going to come back from it. It's just like the OnlyFans conversation. The women who are posting this content online, you're not going to come back from that. And the person that will be accepting of that is probably somebody you don't want. It's probably some liberal dude, some dude that you're going to be taking care of with your OnlyFans money. You're going to be the breadwinner. You basically buying a man's love. That's the type of man that's going to deal with it. Oh, sure. If you keep making your content and let me live in your house and get me a car and let me, give me a credit card and let me, that dude, that liberal low testosterone dude will accept it. But no real masculine man wants a woman who's doing OnlyFans content, wants a woman who's a porn star, wants a woman who, has slept with all these other dudes. No real man want that woman. And it's as hurtful as you think that is. Somebody has to tell you the truth. It's like y'all are allergic to the truth. You're allergic to the truth. It's so weird to me. And I thrive on it. Tell me the truth so I can move different. That's the number one reason why a lot of you need to hear the truth, so you can move different. You can actually do something different once you know the truth of a situation. Okay, Anita's telling me that if I go off and do this, or if I have a bunch of kids by a bunch of different men, it's not looking good. So now I either need to make sure I use birth control or stop hoeing. I need to stop doing what I'm doing or use birth control and make men wear condoms or whatever. I need to do something different because if I get myself in that situation, it ain't going to go well for me. But it's like women want to be lied to. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Okay, I'm not going to do that. That man did not change. He put on a front, as all men do. It's called the great dupe. Everybody knows about it. Everyone is on their best behavior in the summer. The 3 months of summer are, just, ice cream and sunshine and beaches and, all the fun stuff of summer. But women who come in and they say, oh, all the men I date are narcissists. It's you. Like, it's you. There's something about you and your woundedness and your brokenness that is attracting these men. And then because you're wounded and broken, you're dealing with these men. Healthy women can spot a narcissistic man a mile away. They can spot a Machiavellian man. They can spot a psychopath or a sociopathic man. And it usually happens in the first 30 days. They're like, oh, no, thanks. Like, I'm good. I'm straight. And then they go about their business. They let that man go and go about their business. But y'all be in, relationships with narcissists for years and years. And then you get out of that and then you find yourself in a relationship with another narcissist. And I'm sorry, it's you. Why can't you see that? It's you choosing these men over and over and over. And then you blame the men. Well, Anita, why don't you ever talk about these narcissistic men? Because, like, what? I'm trying to wrap my head around this. If you know these men are out there, if you know that they exist, the greatest thing you can do is learn to spot them and avoid them. Right? That's like knowing about scammers. That's like knowing about scams or the Nigerian scamming. Okay, if you know that exists, like, I don't deal with Nigerians. I'm gonna be honest with you. Don't let, and I know that sounds awful. I know that sounds awful, y'all, but I'm just gonna keep it real. Let a Nigerian man try to talk to me. I'm like, I'm good. Like, I'm good. I know the stereotype, but I just ain't dealing with it. And like, come on. Some things are it just is what it is. And it's that toxic empathy inside of women that's like, well, Anita, every Nigerian isn't a scammer. Well, I'll never find that out because I'm not dealing with any. I'll never know that. I'll never know if this particular Nigerian is not a scammer because I'm not going to deal with them. So I'll never know. I'll never know, y'all, because let me find out his family's from Nigeria and I'm good. There are just certain things I'll never know. It's the same with my video about men in jail. Well, every man who's been to jail isn't bad. Well, I guess I'll just never find that out. Because let me find out you've done any real time, that you've been institutionalized. I'll never find that out. That's just something I'll never know. Because I don't deal with men who've been in the judicial system, period. And y'all keep wanting to give everybody a pass. You keep wanting to, well, it's exceptions to every rule. Okay, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that. That's how y'all get got over and over and over. But it won't be me. No, there's just certain things that I have a hard line on. I'm like, nope, it won't be me. You won't catch me out there. So ladies, we got to do better because a lot of this is us. If you have got more than one time, it's you. It's you. I'll give everybody one time. One time a guy, got the best of you or took advantage of you or, oh, you found out he was a covert narcissist or whatever. Okay. If it never happened again, okay, we good. We straight. But if you telling me every man you meet, every man you date got these problems, got these issues, is Machiavellian and manipulative and, you getting your money stolen and you getting, people moving in and all. I'm like, no, it's you. It's you. And stop telling your ego that lie to make you feel good because this one really don't make no sense. You are willing to lie to yourself. You are willing to lie to yourself and go through this situation over and over and over just to avoid the truth. Like, that don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. Okay, Lamont73 says, well, I'm definitely an exception. I've done time, but I don't play with women. But I agree with your content and I don't take that personal. Thank you. I appreciate that, Lamont73. Because like I said, I had a couple of men over on YouTube get all riled up. Oh, this is a generalization. I said, it is. It is, sir. It is a generalization. And I stand by it. Like I said, I don't have that kind of time to figure out who is the exception to the rule, especially if you've been burnt. Especially if you've been burnt, you have to rely on generalizations. What don't you get about that? If you have dated a narcissistic man or woman, now you have to rely on generalizations, or you run the risk of getting burnt again. What don't you understand about that? That's just mind altering. And this idea of, oh, well, Anita, treat everybody different. You know, everybody's an individual. Everybody. There are certain behavior patterns. How many times do I have to say this? There are patterns of behavior that will tell you what people are on. And if you see those patterns, go about your business. It really is that simple. But I'm wrong. I'm wrong for trying to save y'all from heartache. I'm wrong from trying to save y'all from having 2, 3, 4, 5 kids out of wedlock. I'm wrong for trying to get you married to a good dude. I'm wrong. Okay? There is a pattern. And once you see the pattern, once 2 + 2 = 4, you go, oh, shoot. Uh-oh. And then you go about your business. Okay? So once I see the charm, once I see the words don't align with actions, once I see the blaming and shaming of everybody else, or everybody else is the problem, like there's just a pattern of behaviors that scream, this person has some issues. And now they're going to be my issue if I don't get from under this real fast. Okay? When I see people pointing the finger, when I see the charm, when I see the mouth game, when the words and the actions don't align, okay, I'm like, nah, I'm good. If I feel the love bombing, the coming on strong, the future faking, nah, I'm good. Well, see, and look, and this, let me put you on some game. Let me put you on some game. You ready? When you see the BS, when you see the pattern, and you extract yourself, you go, you know what? Like, I think I'm good. I think I'm going to be all right, right? Oh, see, Anita, see, you don't want real love. See, you afraid. You afraid of this real love. Baby, if you don't get out my face, soon, like I said, I know this game. I know this game. See, because what's happening right now is you putting me in this this bucket with everybody else, but I'm a real man, and you don't know what real love is. There's a part of you that's afraid to love it. If you don't get out of here with this mess, sir, go about your business. So we're not doing that over here. If I see a pattern of behavior and I extract myself or I call that out, and then here we go, I'm good. I can't make it up. I can literally make skits about every situation I've been in with these dark triad men or these, church F boys, all the archetypes. I can make skits. And y'all gonna go, oh my God, that's exactly what they say. Like, how did she know this? Because I've lived 57 years. I've lived 57 years. So don't do that. But I can decipher that in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. And by then, can I be real, ladies? 90 days goes by, you have busted wide open. You have, let that man enter every orifice of your body. You have cooked, you have cleaned, you have babysat his kids and his dog. You have redone his resume. You have met his mother or his auntie or his uncle, or, you've given him money. You've done everything for him in 90 days. In 90 days. I kid y'all not, I can't make it up. In 90 days, that man he squeezed every ounce of everything out of you. And now he like, oh, well, I can just cut up. I can just be who I am then. Okay. I didn't get this level of access. All right, let me show you what time it is. And bam. Okay. That's when the real him show up and y'all are like, hey, Chase, Anita the man slipped and he pretended. Because that's what everybody does. Everybody does that. And as soon as you go into it, that's the first thing you say. Whoever's sitting across from me right now is not who I'm going to get a year from now. That's what I say in my head. I sit down. I'm the sweetest, kindest, loveliest, warmest version of myself. But in the back of my head, I'm like, yeah, let's see what happened in the next 60 days. Let's see what happened in the next 90 days. So remember, 9 months is winter. So winter is when it's going to get real wild. That's when you're going to really determine, ooh, can I be with this man? Okay, because if this is what I'm getting for the rest of my life, can I do it? I don't know. Can I do this? Because I don't necessarily like this. I'm not feeling this, right? And that's when you're really gonna, and you're gonna go into overdrive, like trying to get that summer him back. That's what women do. They try to get the summer him, the first 30, 60, 90 day him, but he's not doing that. This is him now. He's comfortable. You done busted wide open. You done given him every piece of access to you that he could, and he gonna be him now. And then you gonna circle back to spring, and spring is gonna make you think, well, it's not that bad. I think I can live with it. I mean, he had his faults. That's when y'all gonna be making up all these. It's wild. Y'all make up all these, excuses to his bad behavior. Okay, I think I could do it. It's not that bad. Or, we all have our flaws. Nobody's perfect. That's spring. That's spring. Okay? But the truth is, you're never really going to return to summer again. You're really not. Summer is over. That person is now, like 12 months goes by, and I keep telling y'all, you don't move in, you don't have children, you don't get married, you don't even get engaged in the first 12 months. 12 months has to completely go by before you make a decision about this person, before you sign a contract, before you make a life-altering decision. You have to know a person for 4 seasons, 12 months. So I'm not taking your ring. I'm not living with you. You're not living with me. We're not doing anything life-altering. Now, I'm not saying you can't, go on a trip together. You can't, go out, go on dates. What else? There's lots of things. Don't get no pet. That's a new thing now that people are doing. It's stupid. Can I just say out loud? You co-parenting a pet is dumb. And I love animals. I'm an animal lover telling you this. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That's like the whole thing now. Oh, and we got a dog together, but when we broke up, now we got to co-parent the dog, and we got to do week on, week off. That's stupid. Like, that's really dumb. I'm just going to say it. That's dumb. And let me meet a man right now and let him tell me some dumb crap like that. Well, my ex and I got a dog together, so we're co-parent. I'm good. I'm good, sir. It's all right. Go on about your business. Like, that's dumb. That's dumb. All right. Lamont says, see, you are on point. You have to generalize until you see different. Agreed. I agree. A woman should not do that much in 90 days. 4 months of courting is what I recommend. Yeah. But like I said, you're not going to do nothing for 12 whole months. I don't care if that man dropped down at 9 months. I'm like, sir, can I see you at 12 months? I'll see you at 12 months. It's not a no, but it's still let's go through all of the seasons. Because think about everything that happens in a year. So let's take this year, for example. That's a perfectly good example. In this year alone, I have been ill. My mother's had a major surgery. My business has actually been doing great this year. So I've been really busy with my business. I've traveled 5 times. I've had an incident with my daughter where I had to go to the school and we had an incident with her. But I had to get a new HVAC for my house. That really hurt me financially. I'm not going to lie. That kind of stung financially, having to buy that HVAC. But these major milestones, these major things happened just within these 12 months. We're what? Tomorrow is the 1st. We're less than 24 hours away from December 1st. And all of that has happened. So if a man met me in January, he has lived through all of that by December. So he's seen my channel go through ups and downs. He's seen my practice go through ups and downs. He's seen me pull away so I can take care of my mother after her surgery. He's seen me deal with my daughter. Like he's seen all of these different parts of me. And you need to see that. You need to know who a person truly is, right? Summer, fall, winter, spring. You need all of those seasons to go by. Then you can make a good, strong decision on, okay, who is this person to me? And how do I want them to show up in my life? But you're giving them access in 3 months in the honeymoon period. When everything is great, you don't know anything about them for real. This is the other thing I'm noticing, and then I'm going to get off because I got a couple other errands I got to run. There's another thing that I'm noticing, and I've always told people this, like the reason why you need to be so cautious is in the first 3 months of meeting a new person, there is what I call overlap. What does that mean? Overlap means that person and some of their bad habits, some of their sneaky links, exes, other women that they're dating, other men that they're dating. So I'm not even going to make this just about men, about the men. I'm going to make it about the women too. There is overlap, right? Because when you first meet a person, and everybody doesn't operate this way, I operate this way. So I take breaks in between dealing with people, being in relationship. I take breaks. And it's like a hard stop. It is a hard, I'm done. This relationship's over. I go into kind of a little shell. I process my feelings about it. I grieve it. And I'm not talking to other people. I'm not talking to other people. I'm not on apps. I'm not dating anybody. I am literally feeling all of my feelings about this relationship. I'm in a deep contemplative state when a relationship ends. And that can last anywhere from 3 months to 6 months to a year. I've even had it where it lasted a whole year, where a relationship ended and I was like, yeah, I just need to focus on other things. I need to grieve the loss of this relationship. I need to contemplate my feelings and everything that happened. It can be a whole year. So in that period of time, I'm not dating. I'm not talking to anybody. There are no sneaky links. I'm not sleeping with anybody. I'm truly on my own. But do you know that 90% of people don't work that way? 90% of people in relationships, and they immediately reach for other people after that relationship has ended. They immediately start talking to someone, texting someone. They jump on dating apps. They go out on dates. They have sex with people. They are immediately soothing that wound by using other people. That's how 90% of people cope, men and women. Men and women. That's what they do. So let's say they're in that period of time where, okay, I've broken up with this person, but I'm kind of out here doing my thing. And they do come across you. And there's something different about you. But can we be honest? They're kind of just in this phase in general where, you know, I'm just out here. I'm just having fun. I'm out in these streets doing what I do. They don't even recognize that you are actually going to be something real in their life. So they're still talking to other people. They're still sleeping with other people. They're still dealing with other people, and they're dealing with you. Now you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is so special. This is so different. We have this connection. Baby, they haven't got that memo yet. So they still out here dealing with the ex, dealing with these other people. That's what I call overlap. And that can happen really in the first 3 months. The first 3 months of them meeting you, it's like you have to be cautious because somebody gonna pop up on the phone, somebody gonna pop up at the crib, like somebody gonna pop up and you're gonna feel a way. You have no idea how many clients come into my counseling practice and this is the situation. So they have a lot of hard feelings about the first 3 months of them dating, because they're like, yeah, he was still talking to people. She was still talking to her ex. He was still going out with this girl. She was still going out with this guy. So they feel a way about that, not recognizing that you have to have some hard conversations and you have to get clear about what y'all are doing. So don't get your little feelings involved until you have a hard conversation. Are you talking to anybody else? Are you sleeping with anybody else? Are you dealing with anybody else? If we're going to just deal with each other, we need to cut all that off. And you just say that with words. Cut all that off so you and I can now deal with each other. But I have tons of couples where they were in that overlap period for a year. The first year of them dating, they were still dealing with other people. And then they have all these feelings about it. Oh, well, he was cheating on me. She was cheating on me. No, I wasn't, because we technically weren't serious. No, I wasn't, because technically we weren't committed. You know, it's crazy how people are. It is absolutely crazy out here. So I'm thinking, good Lord, if y'all would have just taken the time to break up and actually heal from the breakup and be by yourself, you wouldn't be going through this. Because when you did meet the next person, there wouldn't be no other people. There wouldn't be no sneaky link. There wouldn't be no side chick or side dude or, you know, I'm talking to this person. I'm still hung up on my ex. Like, that wouldn't even be a thing. Because I'm going to be honest with you. Right now, if a man met me and we wound up being the love of each other's life, he could literally go on my phone and be like, there's not a single man's name in this phone. Like, there's not a single man. Like, I have guy friends, but no man that I've dated, their number is not in my phone. I have guy friends, men that I've never slept with. I have my male family members. I have a couple of male colleagues. That's it. And I'm happy to explain that. Oh, that's a male colleague. That's a gentleman that works at my practice, or that's a family member, or that's a content creator, or that's a male friend. That's what he gonna find in my phone. He not gonna find a single ex in my phone. There's not a single ex-boyfriend of mine in my phone. There's not a single man that I've ever been intimate with in my phone. There's not a dude that I'm kind of sort of talking to on the side in my phone. Like, that's not a thing. And I know that's unique. Most people don't even believe it's true when I tell them, but it is the truth. And honestly, it's how it actually should be done. But it's that overlap. That's what I tell y'all. Be mindful of that overlap. And it's gotten so bad that now when couples come in my practice, I say, look, we can't count like the first 3 months or the first 6 months. We can't even count that because of the overlap, right? So we're mad about something that it's like, okay, we technically can't count that. Both of y'all were talking to other people. Both of y'all were dealing with other people. Because as you claim, oh, I didn't know what this was going to be. I didn't know that this was going to be serious. Okay, then. So we can't count that. We can't say, you know, in the first 2 months of us dating, oh, I found a girl's number in his phone. It's called overlap, baby. It's called overlap. I saw him talking to his ex the first 2 months. Yeah, that's called overlap. Right? We almost can't even count it. Now, if y'all have been dating and living together for a year, then I could call it cheating. But the first 2, 3, 6 months, that's called overlap. And it's like most people do it. I don't do it, but most people do it. So just understand, like I said, people, you know, they're not me. That's why I don't expect me out of people. I don't. I assume that a man that's interested in me, y'all, this going to sound horrible, but I'm going to say it out loud. So if a man is interested in me and we meet somehow, whether somebody introduces us, they reach out to me, however we meet, it don't even matter. Or I'm about to walk in TJ Maxx. He walk up to me in TJ Maxx. This is what I tell myself, y'all. These are the crazy things I be telling myself, but it protects me. So we talking, we flirting. Yeah, we should go out. We should have some dinner and blah, blah, blah. This is what I say in my head. This man slept with somebody last night. That's what I say in my head. This man is kikiing in my face today, and he slept with somebody last night. He had sex with a woman last night. Maybe that woman was his ex. Maybe that woman was, I don't know, some woman that he dated once upon a time, or maybe it was somebody he just met. Like, but that's what I tell myself. When I'm sitting across the table from a man, like, and this our first date, And look, oh, it gets worse, right? It gets worse, y'all. Then I say to myself, when this date is over, he going to sleep with somebody. That's what I be thinking. And a lot of people say that that makes me jaded. No, it don't. It don't, because I don't feel any kind of way about it. I don't have any feeling for him. I don't feel any kind of way about it. But I am realistic. I do know what's going on out here in these streets. I know how wild some people are. Now, I'm not going home and sleeping with anybody. I'm going home to my king size bed by myself. I'm not going home and sleeping with nobody because I don't operate that way. But in my head, that man is going to, so he ain't getting none from me, right? I'm not going home with him. But he calling somebody else up and somebody else is showing up at the crib. And I keep that in my head for about 3 months. For about 3 months, I assume this man is sleeping with somebody else, talking to somebody else, entertaining somebody else. Because I know about the overlap. See, I know about the overlap. So if a month in, I was over his house and a girl called, I wouldn't feel away. I'm like, yeah, it's called overlap. Now, if you and I have a serious conversation about just dating each other and where it's going and all of that, okay, now we're going to clean all of that up. And I let him know from this day forward, I shouldn't find any women on your phone. I shouldn't, come over and find women at your place. But until we have that conversation, it's called overlap. It's just, it is what it is. And fellas, it's the same with women too. And that's horrible. I know that's horrible. You out on a date with a woman, and in your head, you have to say, she was with somebody last night, or she gonna be with somebody tonight. That's horrible. However, that's the world that we living in today. I wish it wasn't that way, but it is. But it is. We have to assume that there are other men in her phone, other men in her DM, other men that, and she might not even like those men, right? Let's say she into you, but that's what she been doing for the last 6 months, 9 months. And letting other men take her out and buy her things and take her here and do this. And maybe she's sleeping with one of them. That's kind of how people do things. I do not condone it. I don't think it's right. But I do think that you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be realistic about this is what's happening. This is what people are doing now. This is what people are doing. So you a damn fool if you bust it wide open on the first date, and for all you know, that man had sex with a woman the night before. You nasty. If you get on your knees after the first date, that man thing been in somebody just this morning, just last night. Like, I'm funny about kissing. I don't know where your mouth has been. I don't know where your mouth has been. God only knows what your mouth has been on. So no, I don't know you like that. Until I get a better vibe, a better energy, just a feeling, a character, I assess your character. No, I'm not putting my mouth on your mouth. I'm not putting my mouth anywhere else because I don't know where you've been. You could have, like I said, you could have just left a woman's bed and came to this date. Like, that's how people are. They're wild. These people are wild. I wish I was making this up, but I'm not. These people are next level wild, okay? So just be mindful of that. Stop thinking that just because you met them and you have a strong feeling about them, number one, stop thinking that they have that strong feeling about you. That's another thing I had to do. I would meet people, I would feel a connection with them, and I would immediately project that connection onto them like, oh, they must feel it too. So they must feel this feeling too. I don't know that. I don't know that. Like, I don't know that until they tell me. I don't know that until they show me. But we're famous for that. We have a feeling. I see women do it all the time. Oh, we have something special. No, you don't. You think you got something special. You don't know if he think that. Wait for him to tell you that and show you that. Stop assuming that he feel the way you feel. Stop projecting onto people because he probably don't. Sad to say, y'all, I've had some strong feelings for people and then found out, oh, wow, they don't feel that way about me. They don't feel the connection that I feel. They don't feel the specialness that I feel. And then I got to go about my business. Because like I said, I can't like nobody that don't like me. That's just not in me. I can't like somebody that don't like me. So, y'all, no. No, it's the wild, wild west out here. And just remember, I talk to people almost every day, coaching, counseling. I have literally, I tell people I have heard it all. Like, I wish people be like, you'll be shocked. No, sometimes I want to be, I want somebody to say something that'll shock me because it don't. It don't. I've heard it all. I've heard some crazy stories, some crazy stuff that people do. And so now, yeah, some people would consider me jaded, but I do. That's what I tell myself. If a man is interested in me, I'm like, okay, but he probably slept with somebody yesterday. That's what I tell myself. And if we go out, I say, yep, he probably going to sleep with somebody tonight after this date, you know? But guess what? It keeps that in check. Like it keeps that part of me in check that will run away from me if I'm not careful. Like if I'm not careful, my fantasy, my mind, my thoughts, it'll run away with me. See, so that keeps me in check. Like, baby, not yet. Not yet. Until that man tell you and show you that the feeling you feeling is real, it ain't real. See? So I can make up any kind of feeling. I can make up any kind of thought, but you need that to be confirmed. And until it is, no, it's not mutual. And I have to keep telling women this, and I have to tell some men this. Because the men will come in, oh yeah, I think this is the one, and I can just feel it. I can just feel the energy between us, baby. No, wait until she tell you and show you. That's a projection. Until that person tells you and shows you something similar, you're projecting onto them. So don't do that, but it keeps me grounded. It keeps me humble. It helps me to not let my mind and my thoughts kind of go out there into some fantasy world. It's like, no, he's probably sleeping with somebody right now. And until he determines who I am to him and how he feels about me and what we're going to be, he's probably going to keep sleeping with that person. He's going to keep sleeping with that person. He's going to keep taking me out and taking me to do things. And he's probably going to keep sleeping with that person. So see, once you know that, okay, it's like, yeah. But ladies, sincerely, you have got to stop, saying this. All it's doing is making you look bad. All it's doing is screaming to the world, I didn't take my time. I didn't vet this man. I let this man hit very soon, right? I let this man have sex with me way too soon. I didn't know anything about him. And then when the honeymoon period was over, and like I said, I don't even believe the honeymoon period is 3 months anymore. I think these modern day people have changed relationships so drastically. I don't even think the honeymoon period lasts more than 30 days. I think you get a 30-day honeymoon period. And then after that, all bets are off. So that's why I tell people, just wait 90 days. Wait 6 months, But I can assure you, if that person don't mean you any good, if that person is part of the dark triad, you're going to know in the first 30 days. In the first 30 days, you're going to know that, they got issues. Or they're still sleeping with their ex, or they're still talking to their ex. Yeah, you're going to know that within 30 days. 30 days. People can't even make it 30 days. So I don't even think the honeymoon period is 3 months anymore. I think it's 30 days. If you can get somebody out of the first 30 days, you're doing something there. Don't run off and sleep with them now. Don't run off and move in with them. Don't do any of that dumb stuff. But just, cautious. Be cautiously optimistic. I will be cautiously optimistic around 30 days. And then 60 days, maybe a little more so, 90 days. But I'm not dropping all my guards and saying, yeah, I'm just going to run in. No. That's going to happen gradually. That's going to happen gradually over time based on your behavior. Okay? But this overlap thing is real. I've seen it happen too many times now. Everybody says it. Oh, yeah, and she was still messing with her ex, and I was still talking to this girl I dated in college. And I've just seen it too many times, so I know it's a real thing. It's rare for people to, go through a breakup and actually be by themselves. That's rare. That rarely happens. And then I have couples that come in, they try to do therapy to stave off a divorce, but then they decide, okay, we're going to separate. I kid y'all not, within 30 days, they're in new relationships. 30 days of us saying, okay, well, it looks like we're going toward separation. 30 days later, they're telling me about some new person. Yeah, I started seeing my son's basketball coach. Yeah, I started, talking to this lady at work. like, God dang, you ain't even figured out what happened in your marriage. You have not even healed from the pain and hurt in your marriage. And then it's like you using this other person. This other person is this Tony Gaskin saying, the human teddy bear. You're using another person as a human teddy bear to cope with your sadness, with your, hard feelings about your marriage being done. I can't make this up. So, like I said, you're going to reap what you sow. I keep telling people this. You're going to reap what you sow. And a lot of people do this unbeknowingly, but you're still going to reap what you sow. I keep telling people this. Even if you have no ill intent, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be reaching for other people to cope with your pain of your breakups and all of that. You shouldn't do that. You need to sit down by yourself. The only people that need to go through that breakup is you and your ex-partner. But for you to reach for a man or a woman and to put all that stuff on them, it's wrong. It's wrong. And like I said, there's going to be repercussions. It will be repercussions for using people. I'm real funny about that. I can't stand people using people. I hate it. I hate it. I can't stand it. He said, Dag, that's quick. Okay. Men won't be serious about a new relationship till they completed 3 years of being officially divorced. Some longer. Some longer. I keep telling women, I don't know why y'all want to mess with these separated dudes. Are you separated? And look, they put it in their profile. Like I said, I can't fault the dudes if they told you in their profile that they separated. You just an idiot. Like, I can't even be but so mad at them because I'm like, okay, there it is in black and white. The man is not legally divorced. And you entertaining him? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I remember this one guy. I'll never forget this. This was years ago. I must have been, this was before I moved to Atlanta. So I must have been like 20, 21, 22. It was before I moved to Atlanta. I moved to Atlanta when I was 24. So it must have been like 21, 22. And I was working at a restaurant. And this guy lied. So we went out. We worked together. And then we wound up going out. And then he came over to my apartment. I cooked. But he lied about being divorced. Or his divorce was almost final. Now, I'm 21, 22. I'm still quite, wet behind the ears. But he was like, yeah, my divorce is almost final. Me and my wife, we haven't lived together in, months and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, and I remember even going, to that. But maybe a month after that, a woman came into the restaurant. She had a baby. A woman came into the restaurant, y'all, and she had a baby, and it was his wife. So again, I'm speaking from experience. It ain't that I've never gotten got. Now, thank God I ain't sleep with this man. I didn't sleep with him. Okay. I didn't sleep with him. We just went out on a couple of dates and he came over and ate. I didn't sleep with him. But that woman came in and I remember it's like other people knew that was his wife. I had never seen her. And then that's when I found out he was very much married and had a baby. Had like a 2 or 3 month old baby. I was like, bruh. So, of course, I had to blow his spot up. He wound up leaving the restaurant because, everybody was like, oh, no, you didn't. No, you didn't, right? But I share these stories with y'all because, you're going to get got, right? Something going to happen. That's why I keep telling people, don't feel bad. If you get got, let that be the only time that happens. Like, learn from getting got. Learn from it and then put up boundaries so that it don't never happen again. So now, it's that guy, it's other guys that I dated in my 20s. That's when I started running the background check. That's when I actually started digging into men's background. Because I'm like, okay, these men, they lie. And look, y'all be saying that. Y'all say that too. Well, men lie. Do your homework. That's the solution to men lie. Actually do the long division. And now, 2025, baby. So I was 22. What year was it? 90? It was 1990. Now, if I can do a background check back in 1990, if I can find out public record back in 1990 and it's 2025, you ain't got no excuse. You got Instagram, you got Facebook, you got TikTok, you got Snapchat, you got WhatsApp. You got all these different companies doing background checks. You got public record. You got the sex offender registry. I mean, we talking 1990. So I'm doing that all the way back then. And you telling me, oh, he lied. You telling me that today? Get out of here. Get out of here. There's too many ways to verify what a man is telling you. Okay? Verify. Because that's what started it for me. When I had a couple of men lie or stretch the truth, I said, you know what? Let me verify. Let me verify. Let me stop believing what these people are telling me. Let me go somewhere and verify this information. And from that day forward, that's what I've been doing. Running background checks, verifying, talking to people that know you, figuring out where you work, figuring out where you live, figuring out who your people are. That's what I do. And I've been doing that to this day. Because like the women say, men lie. I'm aware. I'm aware. Okay? He said, oh no, that's crazy. But I have dated separated women. Don't. You have to draw a line. Because to me, that ex or that husband, because technically he's still her husband, he come back around. They sleeping together. Don't do it. It's a moot point. Like, why do that to yourself? Okay, we both have to do the math because these people are crazy. For sure. For sure. Because it's wild out here. So that's it. That's the lesson, y'all. But ladies, stop. You look silly. You do. You look silly. You're making a bunch of ridiculous choices over and over and over again. You continue to blame men for your bad choices when it's you. Because your little ego can't handle the truth. And so you make up this story about how men lie or he changed. No, the reality is you didn't do your proper homework. You didn't verify the things that he told you. You didn't wait an appropriate amount of time to see if his words and actions were going to align. That's it. That's all you had to do. And again, we've all gotten got. I've gotten got. But like I tell y'all, I've got cheated on by my ex-husband. I've never been cheated on by another man since that I'm aware of. Okay? And the two men I've dated have said, no, I have not cheated on you. And I don't have any verification of them cheating on me because I learned how to choose better men. I actually learned that, okay, a part of this equation is me. And that's the part that I can actually change. So, yeah, let me stop picking a bad man. Let me stop choosing a man that is not good for me. And let me wait an appropriate amount of time. Let me actually vet a man and just wait out 3 months, 6 months. If he's still around, okay, we may actually have something real. But y'all want to do everything in the first 30 days and wonder why it doesn't work out. And then you do it over and over and over again. That's the wild part. Like, you didn't learn anything from the last time? You find yourself right back in the narcissistic relationship again. So come on. Recognize the love bombing. Recognize the lies. Recognize from date one, I don't know this person. I don't know this person. I don't know them from Adam. It's going to take time for me to get to know them. 12 months to be exact. And then once 12 months has gone by, then I'm going to decide, I'm going to make a decision on what this is going to be. That's it. It really is that simple. But for some reason, women they won't own it. And that's why they keep having the same issues over and over and over. Please, please. He said, I realized I was backwards and took a step back. That's it. Oh, she says the movies taught us. Well, stop going to the movies because it ain't no good movies out there anyway. Stop going to the movies, okay? The movies lied to you. That's not real. All right? That's not real. Stop going to the movies. Live in reality. Live in what's out here every single day. Dr. L, he said you probably mentioned this. I've seen an uptick in ladies saying to sleep with men early. Heck no. Heck no. What? Heck no. What? Why? Why? She said, yeah, women are the problem. It sure ain't no good movies. No, it ain't no good movies, y'all. Ain't no good movies. Hollywood is a joke now. No movies, no movie stars. Like, you got all the movie stars aging out, and these young people, I'm like, what the heck? But no, that's a no to the sleep with him early. Because for what? You gonna rack up all those bodies, and for what? Oh my God. What kind of advice are y'all giving to each other? That's crazy. Oh my God, y'all. I just never thought I'd see this world. But anyway, I gotta go because I got 2 errands to run before I get in the house and do some paperwork. Have a good rest of your Sunday. It is a rainy, cold Sunday here. So like I said, I'm gonna run these errands and head in the house and get my coffee or my tea, and I'm gonna do my notes. So have a great, thank you so much. She said, love the jacket. Sleeping with men early is 304 behavior. Yeah. He said, don't want to waste time. But you want to waste your coochie cat? I mean, your cootie? What? No, I can't do it. I can't, no. You're not giving away anything that's actually valuable. That don't make sense to me. God dang. Like I said, I don't know. He said raining here in DC. Yeah, here too. All right. Have a great Sunday. Today is Sunday, right? Okay. Have a great Sunday. I appreciate you all. And as always, stay open to love.